My name is Jeff.
Hey, Jefe, man.
Jeff.
Focus.
Oi. Dear.
They had hoped that by serving you up, I would show them mercy. Clearly a misapprehension.
Yet here I am, served up.
If I were here for you, High One, I would have brought an army. No. Surtr will have his vengeance. But not here. I know why you have come.
I have a bone to pick with you. After what you did to my son, Vidar, I must...
Vidar put up an honorable fight.
That is not what I heard.
Do not believe the stories.
Upon his
Vidar?
return, too weak to stand, he squirmed like a worm caught in the sun.
You should have seen me. My acolytes had to carry me home on their backs. No. Your boy fought well.
Is that why you spared his life?
It is. But you aren't here to avenge Vidar's honor. You have come to steal my Hugr. And I intend to stop you.
How do you know this?
Aesir, Jotun. You and Loki are both mad. And Hirokin is just as bad.
Ryoken.
And Thor is so stupid he might as well be mad. You spread chaos wherever you go. Yet, you are all known quantities to us. Surtr is not. He rarely emerges from Muspelheim, and when he does, he shares little with us. Thus, while here, I have sent my spies to learn what he plans. Beyond wiping out the dwarves like he did the elves of Alfheim.
What do you know of his plans?
I know that he found a powerful elven relic, and that his minion, Calder, was tasked with finding the Hugrs necessary to sustain it. That Calder is now trapped within said relic, and that you would have me join him.
I must trade the Salakar for my son.
You, the one who almost killed Suttungr for his meat, will hand over a legendary relic, take your son and leave. Just like that.
What is up with the music, man?
Put your mania aside, Havi. Work with me. Together we will foil Surtr's ambitions.
I cannot take the risk. With each breath, Baldur is a step closer to death.
I was a parent once. But we must look beyond ourselves. For the good of all.
We have spoken long enough.
So...
Here we go.
Oh, Ymir. True, O Father. My body comes to you. Sent by the same impostor who claimed your own. As for my Hugr, do not weep for me. I do not deserve this.
No, you do not. Found anything worthy of your talents? This will have to do.
Alle kleren.
Soon you can put them to good use.
By Ymir, is that a Salakar? I never knew they actually existed.
I know all the sagas of your people, yet I've never heard
I never said my people.
You mean the Light Elves?
There aren't many who remember the Children of Light, or their stories. I do.
When Surtr invaded their lands, they begged me for aid. But the war with the Vanir had only just ended and I was... wary. Long after, I learned how Surtr devoured the elves in mortal light, Huga by Huga. Maybe it's the same light that now allows him to renew himself after death.
During the conquest, he must have uncovered knowledge of the Salakars.
But to what end?
What Hugers does it hold?
Those of two warlords. One a Muspel, the other a Jotun.
Nothing more?
Nothing more. At least not of value.
He speaks the truth.
Mooi. Yeah, nice.
You deal with a fire nymph?
A fire nymph.
A fire nymph?
I like her.
I am the finest fire nymph in all of Svartalfheim.
Allow me to introduce Asa, treasonous daughter of Surtr, and my friend.
You grow dewy-eyed in your dotage.
What have you unearthed?
Only rumors. My father is rebuilding something large and powerful, though its exact nature I cannot fathom.
And the Salakar is intended to be part of this something.
Most likely. Either way, its value to my father is so great he may indeed trade your son for its return.
Return to your stepmother. Arrange a trade. And one more thing. I would feel better knowing you're protected.
Sinmara travels far and wide, but I will rejoin her as you wish.
Whatever the Salakar is, I must steal it back once Baldur is safe.
Why?
Ragnarok comes. I've made plans, but they are not ideal.
Ragnar.
Perhaps the Salakar offers another way. One that will allow me to truly save those I care about. Even you.
To unlock its secrets, I will need help. There are rumors of a shelter nearby. Its dwellers may be able to assist me. Try looking near the largest karst south of here. Tell them I sent you. No dwarf would give up the chance to work with Ivaldi.
Langren was once home to your rivals, Sindri and Broker. Your name may not carry much weight here.
Don't make me laugh. No one cares about those two. I'll follow you once I've finished taking what I need.
Hey.
Greetings, dwarf. I am Harvey of the Asia. You're not one to waste words, friend. I wish there were more like you.
Gast.
Ivaldi sends me. He requires the help of a skilled artisan.
A meeting of minds, huh? Well, it ain't up to me. You'd best talk to Brokker or Sindri.
They still breathe? Where are they?
No idea. Sindri went off adventuring. He does that. Mind you, it's been a while since he left.
How much of a while?
Couple of weeks.
And his absence doesn't worry you?
Not my business where he goes.
And Broker?
Went to look for Sindri. Bit of a worry guts, that one. Ever since he mucked up the forging of Mjolnir. Anyway, look, leave your name and I'll pass it to Brokker when he shows up.
Tell him Harvey of Asgard was here.
Harvey of... by Ymir? Really, it is you?
I'll return tonight. In the meantime, fetch Ivaldi. He's at the old workshop ruins.
You are all so many starving dwarves produce so much shit.
Valhalla enemies, Sinmara is the most vicious.
How can so many starving dwarves produce so
Arena
much shit?
machines, Surtr, the bitter rivals, leopard coup against him. Must claim his crown and then announce their marriage.
Asgard has abandoned us.
No, we are their dearest allies. They won't let us down.
But it must be known, forever alert to her plots. Odin, speaker to her adolescent father.
Three times it stung me. 3! On the hand, then the neck, oh, then on the eyeball.
They know
A
me,
true
hey,
master
boy.
would ignore such trifles.
Trifles? That gadfly was the size of a squirrel! A big one!
An ogre can tear me limb from limb, and still my severed hands would finish
That's
the
it,
job.
Ollie.
That is focus. That is passion. That is
Horseshit.
Yeah.
Master Broker, I'm glad you have made it home. And your brother? Did you find him?
Yeah. You never did say where he was.
I believe Sindri went adventuring.
Adventuring? No, that's not it. He went to find the special mead. Had a hankering, he said.
Special meat.
Yeah, the special mead.
Sutunga's special meat?
What's that frosty arse got to do with it? We ain't in Jotunheim, in case you hadn't noticed. Well, there's this mead they make down at the brewery. So sweet, well, it's bloody sweet, all right? Anyway, Sindri had an itch for it. Just a horn or two, he said. So, off he goes. That was half a moon ago. I told him not to do it. Too many giants out there, but he wouldn't listen. Him and his cravings.
Where can I find this brewery?
Aylthorpe, southeast of here, other side of the marsh. Can't miss him. You're going to rescue him?
I will find him, yes. And afterwards, you and he will repay me by helping Evildy with the job I need done.
Now, hold on. We didn't,
Good. We have a deal. That gadfly? It was Loki. Thor himself could not have withstood the sting. Some days ago, Sindri was captured while sneaking outside. He was dragged in here for interrogation. His belongings were seized. Even his roasted acorns, one of the many dwarven delicacies I will never fathom. They tried to loosen his tongue, using the same sweet mead he himself sought. Almost drowned him in it, but the shelter has not been raided. So Sindri must have remained strong, and refused to give them its location. Instead, he was dragged away. Bloodied, drunk as a fish, but alive. Most likely to face further tortures at a makeshift prison named Jan's Hus. That is where I should go next.
Who is this you bring? No! It can't be!
Master Broker, I share in your grief. Truly I do. Your brother was the worthiest of dwarves. More so than you will ever know.
Oh, Sindri. No. No! My dear Sindri.
A funeral arrangements are being made outside. I must use this chance to bend Broker to my will. I must speak with Broker.
You lied to me. You said you would save him.
Wow, dude.
I said I would find him.
That ain't my brother. Not anymore. What happened? Tell me. Everything.
As I neared the village, I heard a great roar. Like that of a wounded bear. Soon after, I witnessed the final act of a mighty battle. Sindri beset by giants on all sides. It was he who made the godlike roars.
He always did have a deep voice.
He wielded his hammer and chisel with uncommon skill.
Yes! Yes! I've seen him do it many times in the workshop.
Giants lay strewn about, slain by Sindri's hand. But then, one of cowardly aspect struck your brother treacherously in the back. Yet even as Sindri succumbed to the blow, he lopped his chisel and struck the coward dead, right between the eyes.
Sindri did all that?
So it will be written.
Where could they be?
There's something wrong, Basil.
Everything is wrong. We're burying the greatest smith who ever lived, and we don't have his tools to put with him.
I came across some at Aylthorpe. If you want, I can fetch...
Those are just the spares. He never took his best ones from the shelter.
I see. How is it that such valuable instruments have been misplaced?
Misplaced? Don't be daft. Hidden, more like.
By Sindri?
To make sure no one else ever touched them. Particularly Brokkr. Except now we can't find them.
You have no idea where they might be.
Well, they're inside the shelter, I can tell you that. Well, they can't be too far. Wouldn't be surprised if they're somewhere up high.
I thought dwarves were afraid of heights.
Not our Sindri. He was quite the climber. Now me, well, I prefer to keep my feet on the ground, right where they should be.
The disaster has been averted.
Oh, now I see why some call you God!
You're making me blush. Still, I have my moments. Heroes die, but not their legacy. Such was Sindri's courage, that tonight he feasts in Valhalla, the first of his kind to ever do so.
So that's it.
He has come. Perhaps he can be of use.
I'm here for the mead, not the company.
You dwarves and your love of mead. It's caused me enough trouble already.
It wasn't a dwarf who ransacked half of Jotunheim in search of some mysterious mead.
I wouldn't know anything about that. You know, old friend, now would be a good time for some grand gesture.
Like what?
A respectful speech from you, Sindri's greatest rival, would surely...
Ah, fuck off.
You must all make compromises. I can even give you the honeyed words. Time soothes the well of suffering, brings hope that sees beyond chill death, recasts the whirlpool of sorrow into the placid waters of the philosophic mind.
Are those words for Sindri or Baldur?
Baldur lives. Why would he need such words?
Of course, of course. I didn't mean to... Well, you know. Fine, I'll do the speech. But it will be one of my making, not yours. We dwarves don't care much for poetry. Still, we can't set about making speeches until the torches are all lit up.
My brother. A true master. He was,
I did not like Sindri, and he did not like me. Still, he was good with the hammer, and the chisel, and the saw. And he knew how to work the bellows. Some said better than anyone. Even me. Brokkr, your brother was a very fine smithy. I admired him greatly.
Master Brokkr, you've given Sindri an excellent send-off.
it's the least he deserves. But is it really true he feasts in Valhalla?
It is. I saw it in a vision. Come. Let's take a stroll. Now, tell me, are you prepared to continue Sindri's good work?
Helping Ivaldi was not my brother's work.
What defined Surtr was. It's what got him killed.
Greed for mead is what got him killed.
It took courage to go after that mead. A direct challenge to Surtr's authority.
This is crooked thinking.
Seems straight enough to me.
You know, I don't reckon I owe you a bloody thing.
I risked my life to retrieve your brother's body. Now I'm prepared to risk it again. For you and all of Svartalfheim.
Bollocks! You ain't doing anything out of the goodness of your heart. I know what you're after. I know all about your lad Balder. I have ears, you know, even in my grief. So, don't pretend you're here for us, because I know—
Would you have me abandon my own son, and strive only for your salvation?
Okay, when you say it like that.
Okay.
I need time. I'm still grieving, you know? Let me think on it, all right? A little old think.
Ik was zware stemmen en wolf. Ah. Holy shit.
I should check on Broker, see if he has come to his senses. If he hasn't, I must encourage him further. To see you're getting along. So, Broker, do you accept your duty?
Don't have much choice, do I? Last thing I need is a godly smiting up me arse.
Let this be the start of a beautiful new friendship.
To study the Salakar, I'll need the very best of tools. Too bad this workshop is lacking.
Bugger off! I got more stuff here than you can wag a finger at.
Doubt it.
Ah.
If you find something you don't know how to use, just ask.
I'll be giving you lessons on how to use your own.
Bickering
Gaan ze ook-
dwarves.
Oh.
How unusual.
Asa, you return.
What? You deal with a fire nymph?
Not this again.
Fire nymph.
What news do you bring?
My stepmother is stubborn. I cannot push too hard or she will grow suspicious.
She has no interest in a trade.
Interest, yes. But not yet the will.
I don't understand.
The Salakar is all but indestructible. You, on the other hand, are not.
She assumes she'll catch me, kill me, and retrieve the Salakar.
Time is on her side.
Then I must strip her of this illusion. If I were to make a nuisance of myself, one that cannot be ignored.
Sinmara prepares to lead my father's next major invasion.
But if I were to disrupt her plans, it may force her to the bargaining table.
Sounds risky to me.
I once plotted and carried out the murder of Ymir himself. What do I care of risk?
Well, since you put it like that.
Where must I strike?
At Af Alvat Milna, my stepmother develops a strange army. At Jofursmida, she breeds beasts of war. And finally, there's Drekathorp, her supplies hub.
I'll deal with all three.
In the meantime, I shall return to Eitri. I will send word once my stepmother has become more amenable.
I'll return when I'm done. And I will expect answers regarding the Salakar.
Oh, you're back.
Sinmara's plans lie in ruins.
I just hope you know what you're doing.
Surely I should be asking that of you. Now, tell me, what does it do?
I ain't got a clue. These light elves and they're sneaky.
You've learned nothing?
Whatever its use, the power it contains. It holds more than what you said.
Such as?
Well, for a start, there's a bloody dwarf in there.
Anyone we know?
Nah, and it's not important. Dwarf Hugers don't carry much weight. Not even mine.
So, what does it contain?
All I know is that it's more than Malvigar, Calder, and some dwarf no one cares about.
Fine. In the stories, what was the actual point of the Salakars?
Hugers were what vitalized them. But it was the magic that gave them their purpose. And that magic was different to each one.
Magic? You mean Seda?
Nah, some elf shit no one knows anymore.
Except Surtr.
That fire nymph? She sent word.
And?
Your plan worked. Sinmara's ready to barter, if it means getting you out of the way.
Where?
At the bridge leading to Feygarda. Light the beacon, and she'll come out with your lad.
The power that the Salakar holds. It must not fall into Surtr's grasp.
Nah, I'll reclaim it once Baldur is safe.
Still alive? Wow.
You bring that which is Surtr's.
Give me what is mine. And I will hand over what is his.
Come midway.
Baldur. Could be a shapeshifter. It's gonna be fucked up. Something's gonna happen. It's not good.
Baldur, I got you. I got you.
Shapeshifter, yeah. Yeah. I said it. I told you.
No.
The High One brought low. Mistletoe, symbol of hope, renewal, but not for Baldur. We forced so many drafts down his gullet. His torment was quite beautiful. Blind fool. You never saw what was in front of you. Here is your child. His light gone before you even set foot here. And the rest of him?
It now skulks in Helheim.
Allow me to reunite you with your boy.
No!
Traitor.
Oh, wow.
You were never worth my effort.
So...
I've seen dwarves with better stature.
Take care of it. Damn you, Asa! Finally! The hero of Asgard! But you are an imposter. Heart as black as tar. Savage. Monstrous. You've locked that truth away. Built a code to act as its jailer. But the darkness cannot be kept hidden. It oozes out like pus from a wound, poisoning everything it touches. That is what it means to be Odin the Deceiver.
Damn, psycho bitch.
What is it? What did you see?
All my struggles mattered nothing in the end. My son was lost before I began. His premonition come to pass.
Your son?
Balder! Harvey's son. You know what I mean.
So Balder met his fate, as was foretold. Ever you have sought to elude the looms of the Nornir, but we are all caught in their weave.
No, I will not believe it. There's more to see yet. Why was I thrown from my dream?
Perhaps it was not the vision that rejected you, but you who rejected the vision. Perhaps you are afraid of it.
I fear nothing.
I think you do. And until you recognize that fear, give in to it, embrace it, the vision will not return. Some walls cannot be overcome by potions alone.
Tell me what I must do. This saga does not end here. It cannot.
Meet me in the forest when darkness lays upon the land. There we shall see how fearless you truly are.
Tove, how have you been?
The fire made me think of the myths and legends Sven loved.
Would you indulge me with a tale? I would be glad to hear of Svartalfheim.
I would not tell it half as well, but his favorite was a fable, to remind us to find meaning in our deeds and not in how others think of us. Svartalfheim was not short of legendary dwarven blacksmiths. Everyone has heard of Ivaldi, of Brucker and Sindri. But this tale is of a stonemason. He lived as far south as he could, where Gulnamar meets Vanglin. His workshop sat upon the shoreline. Obsessed with glory, his love of masonry had all but died. He scoured the shore, seeking precious stones washed up from other realms. Then he saw it. Something beautiful, glittering, shimmering across the water, upon an island he had never dared travel to. He hastily built a boat, working long into the night. He set sail and found many rocks that sparkled and dazzled upon the island. He cried out in joy. To craft anything from such stones, he would be remembered for all time. Then he felt a sudden sting on his foot. Then another, and another. His eyes adjusted to the dark. So consumed was he by his desire for renown, he failed to realize he had walked into a nest of snakes, until it was already too late. And so, clutching the stone that sealed his fate, there he died. Remembered, yes, but only for his folly.
A fine tale, Toby, and well told. Sven would be proud. Are you and Bridget well?
Of course. The flames soothe my mind, as do the tales told here.
You have one to share, Gunnar. The legend of Svartalfheim.
Aye. A story of a king who could not see the wood for the trees. Ragnar, greatest of dwarven kings. Within his palace in Gulnamar, he wanted for nothing except an heir. Ragnar and his wife had grown old. Perhaps too old. Late one night, consumed with worry, Ragnar walked in the shadow of his vast mountaintop palace, tears in his eyes. The great king! What ails you? A voice said. Afraid, Ragnar saw no one. Who goes there? He replied. Then he saw who addressed him. A vast and ancient tree, perhaps almost as old as Ymir himself. Ragnar sat upon its roots and told the tree he feared he was too old to give his subjects the legacy they deserved. The tree was so moved, it wept and offered its tears to Ragnar. Drink, great king, it said, and your woes shall be washed away. Ragnar observed the grass, the meadows, the leaves of the tree. His subjects' happiness could be seen in how they cared for the land. His legacy was all around him. Ragnar felt at ease, realizing he had everything he needed, and asked that the land receive the tree's gift instead. The tree's happy tears flowed evermore, enriching the land. 9 moons passed, and a baby's cry rang through Ragnar's palace. Long would dwarves place gifts in the weeping tree's roots, in memory of Ragnar and his kindness that shaped all he touched.
All things happen when they should, old friend.
I hope so.
Eivor! Whatever is the matter? Have you been spending too much time drinking Valka's special sauces again?
I am troubled by visions of Odin and of Svartalfheim. They flood my mind without warning, without invitation.
Aha! Which is how Thor flooded Svartalfheim. Thor, fast to act, but not so fast to think, would stomp and thump and fight and bump everywhere he and Mjolnir should go. One day, he fought a giant in Jotunheim with such ferocity that Thor's killing blow was felt through all 9 realms. The ground shook, mountains rose up, hills tore apart, creating canyons, and north of Svaladal, the massive lake that housed the springs of Yggdrasil split open, flooding all of Svartalfheim. The dwarf king, Hreidmar, acted swiftly. He built 3 mighty dams, preventing further damage to his realm, working alongside his beloved subjects. So surprised was one builder to see the great king working as an equal that he slipped, tumbling into the raging waters below. Without hesitation, Hreidmar leapt, once from his horse, and again from the center of the dam's lip, diving into the frightful torrent. Before the builder could even cry for help, Hreidmar was pulling him onto dry land. And so 2 giant statues were built to honor the king, one for each leap of unthinking bravery, and stood until the end of days.
Until Ragnarok.
Aye! So you see, actions ripple outward, like a stone falling into a lake. Or like Thor crushing a Jotun skull with Mjolnir.
Affecting everything, whether foretold or unknown.
I fear my tale has only worsened your concerns.
No, a good story is a log that feeds a mind's flame. Thank you, friend.
Wat zit dit in met die Ragnarok? Wat Boris het ook even laten zien of zo?
I hear you seek tales of Svartalfheim. You are not alone in your glimpses of the Aesir.
You have seen them too?
No. Only the power the visions hold, and their effect on those ones held dear.
You speak of Sigurd.
Do you want my tale or not?
Yeah.
There was a dwarven miner who cared only for his work. Mining was all he knew, all he wanted to know, and all he would ever know. One day, he heard a strange noise. All his long life, working in the northern mines of Vangring, he had never known a boulder to squeak. He ignored it at first, but as the hours passed, the squeaking continued relentlessly. When the miner could take no more, he split the boulder apart with his pick, and then he saw a squirrel. Until now, pinned by the boulder, afraid and tired, the freed squirrel climbed into the miner's long beard and slept for 3 days. When the dwarf awoke the next day, he found fruit and nuts waiting for him. A gift from the squirrel, the first the miner had ever received. Finally, the miner had a friend. The squirrel led the dwarf to a stone hill within a lake. There, the dwarf could fish for supper, while the squirrel played in the trees. One night, watching his fishing line, the dwarf drifted off to sleep, smiling, enjoying the happy squeaks of his friend above. When the sun rose, its light did not find the dwarf, for he had turned to stone, his short-lived bliss captured evermore.
The squirrel?
It never left his side, hoping his friend would awaken, just as the miner had waited for the squirrel to do the same.
Sigurd, he's not lost to us. In every great story, there's truth to be found. I wonder what could be found in Svartalfheim, the place they spoke of.
I will tie your hands now.
What purpose will that serve?
You are too much the warrior, Eivor. You will not recognize your fear until you are helpless before it. Drink.
And you say this will bring the vision back? Is that all? You mean to leave me here? Valka! This is... Why must I be tied? Valka? Untie me! The wolf is coming and I... cannot reach my weapon! Valka! Valka!
Huh?
The wolf is gone. For now. I'm ready, Valka. It is time.
Surtr and I regrets place once, and there was nothing but a prize. Of course, one day we will fight again. And if you will win, you will find only a weapon. And when it does, you must stand well clear. I will not risk my most beloved child getting caught in the fray. Odin speaking to Adol Balder.
Svartalfheim, even after all these eternities away, I still hate the place. Yet it offers me the hope of revenge. Sweetest of morsels. The realm is changed. But this is not Surtr's doing. It is something more. I must find Brokkr and Ivaldi. They'd better still have my Salakar nice and safe.
Damn spells. They came out of nowhere.
Where is the Salakar? Have you lost it?
Brokkr left the shelter yesterday before the raid even happened. Took the Salakar with him.
Where has he taken it?
Since you went away, he has become erratic. The Salakar, it's all that matters to him now.
You should learn from his example. Now where is he? Where?
The other night, he spoke of exploring the crater of Eitri to seek out more answers.
He takes the Salakar to Surtr's front door.
Wait! Where have you been these past few days?
Days? No matter. It is where I go that matters.
And where is that? Eitri?
Wherever I can find vengeance.
Calm yourself, Harvey. Collect your wits. An eye for an eye will leave us all blind.
What do I care of eyes? So, tell me the Salakar's purpose.
Haven't a clue.
Can it kill Surtr?
Well, that ain't its purpose. But yeah, I think it can.
How?
It harnesses the light. A lot of light.
That was Balder's gift. To turn day to night and back. Is that why Surtr stole his Hugr?
Yeah, the others, they're just for balance. But, see, there is one more in there. Like Balder's. Incomplete.
Whose is this Hugr?
Surtr's. An itsy bitsy snippet, mind you.
I don't understand.
I think if the Salakar touches Surtr, the two will come together.
The Salakar's already complete. Nothing gets in or out.
A torn Hugr will always try to reunite itself. His might just be strong enough to do it. If that happens, he will become the Salakar.
Then nothing can stop him.
Only if he can control all that light. But I don't think he can. His old carcass ain't made for it. It'll be like trying to hold the ocean in a single hog's bladder.
This thinking. How can I be sure you're right?
You ain't heard all me workings out.
Do you truly believe the coming together will be too much for Surtr?
Best try it when he's weak. Ideally dead. Well, not dead, of course. Just normal dead. Before he wakes up all over again.
You've done well. Now give me the Salakar and leave this place. It is too dangerous.
I ain't leaving. I come this far.
Do as you're told, friend.
Here, fool. Your twilight comes.
Still drawing breath? I have a cure for that.
Oh, damn. Gaan we gelijk zo doen. Zo. Nee, dat is positief.
Die!
This is exactly what he wanted. Or not.
Hey! Give us a hand! This is no place for dwarves.
Ik weet niet wat er gebeurde, maar...
I've earned my right to see this through. I told you it would work. And there you are, doubting me.
Die zit een beetje vast, volgens mij. Huh. Yep, I thought so. Couldn't be that easy.
I might have got it wrong. This looks like it was just a key. That, on the other hand...
Half a key. You want the rest? Come, claim it.
You really shouldn't have come here. You come and claim it!
Ah! I don't run from the fire! I am the fire!
Hij had gewoon laten killen, die broke. What the fuck? Harvey, oh, you son of a bitch. Do I have to run?
There is no escape.
Guess so.
Can't outrun me! Fire!
I don't want to look behind. I don't want to look behind. I don't want to look behind me. Die gast nou gewoon dood. Waarom? Hey, let's go protect my house. Wat de... Een van zijn shit. bitch.
So much for your grand plan, you fool. You sought to harness the power of the light. The power of my son! It would have turned you into the wrecker of worlds. But in this feeble state, his light will devour you whole!
What's up with the sounds, mate? Really? That's it.
Smell that? The breath of liberty. My gift to you. Why the sour faces? Would you rather remain fugitives? Hurricane. So the whispers were true. You were here in Svartalfheim all alone.
You have been busy, High One. Your vengeance floods the entire land like a raging river that has burst its banks.
Why are you here?
I too bring a gift. Dread rumors from Asgard. Rumors you would have heard had you not been so preoccupied.
What has Loki done now?
Loki?
Escaped the cell in which you left him to rot. Unbound Fenrir. Awoken Jormungandr. Rallied Hel. Now raising an army like no other. Clearly, he has been busy too. Of course, Loki is not your only problem. Soon the gates of Muspelheimr will grind open, and its minions will emerge, demanding retribution for their fallen king. And let us not forget Suttungr in Jotunheim. Do you really think he will miss this chance to settle old scores? Your vengeance comes at a price, High One, and you and everything you hold dear are it.
So there is to be a fight. I haven't lost one yet.
You have heard of the Twilight Sword?
Surtr's blade, destined to cut the sky and signal Ragnarok. I stuffed it down his gullet.
As I came here, a great beam of light rose from that lone tower, tore the sky asunder. Your doing, I assume? It is you who ignites Ragnarok.
Ooh.
So it begins. By my own hand.
You're just gonna believe that? Like she said it, a stranger.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
A favor, please.
Have I not already done you one?
Not for me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
For you. Go to that tower you spoke of. Within you will find an elven marvel lying amid the ashes. Take it.
Why?
It offers a way to deliver the one you have lost, yet seek to save.
First, it must be emptied of those lost souls within.
I already have a plan to rescue my love.
There's always a better one. Now go.
Come on, let's continue the story, hidden story, man. Come on, let's do it.
What is this trick? You don't care about her lost love.
I care about Balder.
Balder,
She can free him.
he's gone.
Even unintentionally, he may yet make it to the other side of Ragnarok. Ragnarok comes, yet I will abide, though not as I am, and not in this body. I will not forget this life, not one breath. I will always remember when Odin, son of Bor, father of Thor, was me.
Legendary beast.
Loki had failed once in his attempts to ruin the work of Sindri and Broka, but he had a mind to try again. Again he bit Broka, and again, over and over until the dwarf could stand it no more. But stand it he did, outlasting the full extent of Loki's mischief. Draupnir, a ring of gold from which 8 more rings would fall like rain every 9th night. A font of endless wealth for Asgard's most righteous lord. My Jotun brother would have one last chance to spoil the works of Sindri and Broka. If he failed, it would cost him his head.
Loki again.
Impressed with the craft of the dwarven smiths, Loki set them to fashioning great gifts to bring to Asgard, and win back the favor he had lost. Skidbladnir, best of all ships, beloved by the wind, big enough to carry all of Asgard's finest into battle. Small enough to fit into a pocket. This would be Freya's gift. It pleased him well. With such gifts, would Loki find forgiveness? My brother always knew how to win hearts. To him, it was almost as easy as breaking them. Broka and Sindri had made 2 gifts that outshone the works of the sons of Ivaldi. Now they meant to make their masterpiece. Mjolnir, Giant's Bane, a hammer that could level mountains, that never missed its mark when thrown, and always returned to the hand of its owner. A 3rd time they set about the forge. It had to be kept at exactly the right temperature for their work to be perfect. And yet again, Loki visited as a fly. So desperate to make Broka fail, he bit the dwarf's eye harder than any fly had ever bitten before.
The fuck?
This time, he did not fail. The hammer was flawed. The handle a fraction too short. Yet even so, we judged the work of Sindri and Broka superior. Loki lost his bet, and his head was forfeit. Few would have mourned the death of Loki. But of course the trickster found a way to go back on his word. A tale for another time, perhaps. Ivaldi's sons had made 3 mighty gifts for Loki, but my brother wanted more. So he went to their rivals, Sindri and Broka. He bet them they could not fashion 3 gifts greater still. If he won, he would keep the gifts. If he lost, they would take his head. But Loki had no intention of playing by the rule. He transformed himself into a gadfly and set about biting Broka in the hope of distracting him. But Broka did not flinch, and their work was a wonder. A boar of living metal who gave off light in the dark and ran faster than any horse. Gullinbursti.
Die heb ik nu toch? For now it's bye bye. Sorry. And peace out.
Have you come to say what I fear?
Not to say,
but to show.
A vision of the times to come. None living or dead now equal our heavy in arrogance. To believe that you could remake your fate thus.
For all your efforts, for all your struggles, the threads of fate still bind you as tightly as ever.
And yet, from this pattern, a single strand escapes the fray and stubbornly clings to the weave. Æsir, Vanir, your doom will come. The earth will shake, the sun will die. Jötnar will stalk your streets as fire rains upon your heads. And the great wolf Fenrir will feast upon your blood. But you have found a way to live beyond this terror.
Let it flow.
To cheat your death.
From the life tree we go, to the life tree we shall one day return.
Mind and spirit will surge to a time far beyond your own. To a time in which you shall be reborn.
None may follow. Loki least of all. It is done. Time to face our end.
Eivor, you have awakened. With more to share, I hope.
I returned to Asgard.
And what did you see?
I bound the wolf Fenrir, Loki's son, with an unbreakable cord. The beast was enraged by my actions. We fought and I prevailed, but I could not kill the beast.
You visit lore and legend. Things I would never have imagined to be real. Parables, yet here you live them as memories.
Every moment there was as tactile and as vital as you and I seated in this hut.
This is wonderful. Was there more?
There was a betrayal. I betrayed my friend Tyr. I stood by as the great wolf mauled him, tearing his arm off at the joint. I could have said something to prevent it, given him a warning. But I did nothing.
How did it feel?
I was unmoved by his pain. Not hateful, but I did not regret my indifference. A swig of poison that drinks like wine.
Selfishness unmeasured often feels this way. What else did you see?
I witnessed the final vision from the Nornir, the coming of Ragnarok. All was fire and ash, a chaos like a foul wind from the depths of Ginnungagap. But we were ready for the coming storm. 8 of us, we drank the mead, then stood and marched to our doom. And that was the end of the Nortnir's prophecy.
How curious. Was there more?
I can make sense of no more.
I see. The thrust of these visions seem clear to me. As in your first reverie, a fear of betrayal hangs upon you. Odin has seen fit to gift you with his infinite knowledge, and the treasure of his experience. Perhaps his tale is a warning. The indifference he felt is a great pity. See that you do not follow this same road. To do so would risk a loneliness, a personal exile, worse than death.
I understand. Or I hope I do. Thank you, Valka.
Let it flow. From the life tree we go. To the life tree we shall one day return. None may follow. Loki least of all. It is done. Now, to face our end.
Find you, dead one, on the far side of our doom.
This is the place where Ragnar Lothbrok met his end. He must have been naked and bloodied, every drop draining into the pit. This supreme Drengur of all men, now King Ayla's prize.
I have seen this day 1,000 times. Baldur keeps a cup of mead for me. I welcome my entry into the land of champions.
Mocked, ridiculed, humiliated. His honor did not budge. Dragged by cowards, thrown to snakes. They were more afraid than him.
I face death with a thirst on my lips. My reputation cannot be unwritten. Inscribed on the hearts of those who fought beside me.
Set upon by venomous snakes, he stood and spoke with honor and spine, for all who live their lives for glory alone. Oh, how the young pigs would grunt if they knew how this old boar suffered. You will meet them, Ale. One day, they will come.
His men came too late to save him. Those who fought for him, they loved him dearly. Their oaths unbreakable. I have sent Jodrenge to meet you, great king. You will be with them once again.
Oh wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Laat me gewoon even met rust, gewoon even gamen. Het is niet een mus, enige wat me afleidt. Dit is een even heel vol side gamen. Laat me even met rust, ben even bezig, even verdwijnen in de VR-wereld zonder leven. Laat me gewoon even gamen, de wereld is nog niet klaar voor. Rapid changes.